वाक्यम् श्री भगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वा कश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनाद्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन क्लैब्यं मा स्मगमं पार्थ नैतत्वा उपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्तो उत्तिष्ठ परन्तप अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहं संख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन विशुभि प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्ह वरिसूदनः गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयुन् भोक्तुं वैक्षिमपीह लोके हत्वा कामांस्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीयस्मतान् सुधिरप्रदिग्धान् न चैतद्विद्मो कतरन्नो गरीयः यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयो यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामस्तेव स्थिते प्रमुखे धातराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेष्ठचान्विष्टितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् न हि प्रपश्यामि ममानुपद्यात् इच्छोक उच्चोषणमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमा असपत् समृद्धं राज्यं सुराणामपचाधिपत्यम् संजय उवाच एवमुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं गुडाकेशेन परन्तपः न योत्सयति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच ऋषिकेश प्रहसन्निव भारतः सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तम् इदं वचः श्रीभगवानुवाच अशोच्यान् अन्वशोचस्त्वं प्रज्ञावादांश्च भाषसे गतासु न गतासूंश्च नानुशोचन्ति पंडितः न त्वेऽहं जातु नासं न त्वेनेमे जनाधिपः न चैव न भविष्यामः सर्वे वयमतः परम् देहिनोऽस्मिन् यथा देहे कौमारं यौवनं जरः तथा देहान्तरप्राप्तिर्धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति मात्रात् स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णसुखदुःखः आगमापायिनो नित्यास्तांसि तिक्षस्व भारत यं न व्यतयन्त्येते पुरुषं पुरुषः समदुःखसुखं धीरं सोमृतत्वाय कल्पते नासतो विद्यते भावो नाभावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टवन्तः तत्तनैव तत्त्वदर्शिभिः अविनाशि तद्विद्भिः येन सर्वम् इदं ततं विनश्यम् अव्ययस्यस्य न कश्चित् कर्तुम् अर्हति अन्तमन्तं मे देहा नित्यशोक्ता शरीरिणः अनाशिनो अप्रमेयस्य तस्मात् युद्धव्य भारतः येनं वेत्ति हन्तारं यश्चैनं मन्यते हतम् उभो तौ न विजानीतो नायं हन्ति न हन्यते न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् न्यायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं येनमजमव्ययम् कथं स पुरुषः पार्थः कां गाति यदि हन्तिकम् वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयान्ति नवानि देहि नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः न चैनं क्लेद्यहन्त्यापहो न शोषयति मारुतः अच्छेद्यो अयम् अदायो अयम् अक्लेद्यो शोष एव च नित्य सर्वगत स्थानोऽचलोऽयं सनातनः अव्यक्तोऽयम् अचिन्त्योऽयम् अधिकार्योऽयं च उच्यते तस्मात् एवं विदित्वैनं नानुशोचितुमर्हसि अथ चैनं नित्यजातं नित्यं वा मन्यसे मृतं तथापि त्वं महाबाहो नैनं शोचितुमर्हसि जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर्ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च तस्माद् अपरिहार्यते न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि अव्यक्तभूतानि व्यक्तमध्यानि भारत अव्यक्तान्येव तत्र तावन्येव आश्चर्यवत् पश्यति कश्चिदेनम् आश्चर्यवत् वदति तथैव चान्यः आश्चर्यवत् चैनमन्यः शृणोति श्रुत्वा तेनं वेद न चैव कश्चित् देहि नित्यमवद्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारतः तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुम् अर्हसि स्वधर्मम् अपि चावेक्ष्य न विकम्पितुम् अर्हसि धर्म्याधियुद्धात् श्रेयो न ते क्षत्रियस्य न विद्यते यदत्तया चोपपन्नं स्वर्गद्वारमपावृतं सुखिना क्षत्रिया पार्था लभन्ते युद्धमीदृशम् अतचित्त्वम् इमं धर्म्यं सङ्ग्रामं न करिष्यसि तथा स्वधर्मं कीर्तिं च हित्वा पापमवाप्स्यसि अकीर्तिं चापि भूतानि कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम् सम्भावितस्य च कीर्तिर्मरणादतिरच्यते भयाद्रणात् उपरथं मत्स्यन्ते त्वां महारथः येषां च त्वं बहुमतो भूत्वा यास्यसि लाघवम् अवाच्यवादांश्च बहून् वदिष्यन्ति तवाहितः निन्दन्तस्तव सामर्थ्यं ततो दुःखतरं दुःखिम् हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गं जित्वा वे मोक्षसे महीम् तस्मादुद्दिष्ट कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः सुखदुःखे समे कृत्वा लाभालाभौ जयाजयो ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि एषा ते विहिता सांख्ये बुद्धिर्योगे मां शृणु बुद्ध्या युक्तो यया भास्ता कर्मबन्धं प्रहस्यसि नेहाभिर्चमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्युवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात् व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिर्हेतेः कुरु नन्दनः बहुसाख्य अनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनां यामिमां पुष्पिता वाचं प्रवद्यन्त्यविपश्चितः वेदवादरतः पार्था नान्यदस्ति निवारिणः कामात्मानः स्वर्गपरः फलप्रदां क्रिया विशेषा बहुलां भोगैश्वर्यं प्रति भोगैश्वर्यं प्रसक्तानां तया प्रहृतचेतसां व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समाधौ न विधीयते त्रैगुण्य विषयः वेद निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान् यावान्नार्थवदथाने सर्वथा संस्कृतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु मनस्य विजानतः
कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते
मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्मफलहेतुर्भू मा ते सङ्गोऽस्त्व कर्मणि योगस्त्व कुरु कर्माणि सङ्गं त्यक्त्वा धनञ्जयः सिद्ध्यो समो भूत्वा समत्वं योगयुज्यते दूरेण ह्यवरं कर्म बुद्धियोगात् धनञ्जय बुद्धो शरणमन्विच्छ कृपणाफलहेतवः बुद्धियुक्तो जहातीह उभे सुकृतदुष्कृते तस्मात् योगाय युज्यस्व योगकर्मसु कौशलम् कर्मजां बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्ध विनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनाव्ययम् यदा ते मोहकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतितरिष्यति तदा गन्तासि निर्भेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्ना ते यदा स्थास्यसि निश्चलः समाधावचला बुद्धिर्तथा योगमवाप्स्यसि अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशवः स्थितधि किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत व्रजेत किम् श्रीभगवानुवाच प्रज्ञाति यदा कामान् समान् पातुं लोकतान् आत्मन्येवात्मना तुष्टः स्थितप्रज्ञस्य रोचते दुःखेषु अनुद्विग्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः पीतरागभय क्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुच्यते यत्सर्वत्र स्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्यं शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठितः यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीन सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठितः विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते यततो हि अपि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य निबद्धः इन्द्रियाणि हरन्ति प्रसभम् तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठितः ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात्
क्रोधो विजायते
क्रोधः भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहः स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति रागद्वेषविमुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्येर्विधेयात्मः प्रसादम् अधिगच्छति प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां ध्यानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो यासुः
तिष्ठते
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावनः न च भावयतः शान्तिरशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम् इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां यन्मनोनुविधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावम् इवाम्बसि तस्माद्यस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठितः या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागर्ति भूतानि सा निशा पठ्यतो मुने आपूर्यमानमचलं प्रतिष्ठं समुद्रमापः प्रविशन्ति तद्वत् प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्ति नाप्नोति न कामकामी विहाय कामान्यः सर्वान् पुमाचरति निःस्पृहः निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः शान्तिमधिगच्छति येषां ब्राह्मस्थितिः पाठा नैनं प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं गच्छति ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु
उपनिषत्सु
ब्रह्मविद्यायां
योगशास्त्रे
श्रीकृष्णार्जुन
श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे
सांख्ययोगो नाम
द्वितीयोऽध्यायः।
हरि ओम तत्सत् हरि ओम तत्सत् हरि ओम तत्सत्
अस्तु हे ओम तत्सत्। Yeah. Okay, that was good. Venugopal, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you for joining. Okay, hello, mister. How are you? What's your name? I forgot your name. What's your name? Hmm?
You want to say his name?
Your name?
Do you have a name?
Last week you said it. Dhruv. One of them is Dhruv, right?
Yes.
Dhruv and
His name is Avyut.
Avyukt. Dhruv and Avyukt. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's get started. So last week we discussed 2.6. Today 2.7. Okay, in 2.6, Arjuna said, now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? If we kill the sons of Dhritarashtra, we should not care to leave. Yet they are now standing before us on the battlefield. And now 2.7. Arjuna Uvacha
Uvacha
Karpanya Doshopahata Swabhava
Arpanyadosho Pahatasvabhava
Prichami Tvam Dharma Sammuda Chetaha
Gacchami Tvam Dhatma Samuda Chetaha
Yashreyasyanischitam Bruhi Me
Yachreyasyan Nishchitam Bruhitanme
Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam.
Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam
Karpanya of miserliness, dosha by the weakness, upahata being afflicted, swabhava characteristics, prichami I am asking, tvam unto you, dharma religion, sammudha bewildered, cheta in heart, yat what, shreya all good, syat maybe, nishchitam confidently, bruhi tell, tat that, may onto me, shishya disciple, te your, aham I am, shadi just instruct, mam me, tvam onto you, prapannam surrendered. Translation: now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Okay, now let's repeat the shloka. Yeah, start with Ashok.
Arpanyadosho Pahatasvabhava
Prachami tvam dharma sammudachetaha
Gacchami Tvam Dharma Sammudha Chetaha
Yachreham nishchitam bruhi tanme
Yachreyasyan Nishchitam Bruhitanme
Yasneham shadimam tvam prapannam
Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam.
Okay, Kiran, you want to try? Yeah.
Karpanya doso pahata svabhava
Karpanya
Arpanyadosho Pahatasvabhava
Shamitvam dharma samudha chetaha
Richami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha
Yachreyasyan nishchitam bruhitan me
Yashreyasyanischitam bruhitan me
Sisyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannam
Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Okay, Naresh, Prabhu.
Technology, I'll go at the end. I'm going to drink some water. It's a dry cough.
Okay, sure. Yeah, Rahul.
Arpanyadosho Pahatasvabhava
Karpanya dosho pahata swabhava
Gacchami Tvam Dharma Sammudha Chetaha
Richami tvam dharma sammudha chetaha
Yachreyasyan Nishchitam Bruhitanme
Yashreyasyanischitam bruhitan me
Shishyasteham Shadhimam Tvam Prapannam
Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Okay, Venugopal.
Karpanyadosho pahatasvabhava
Karpanya dosho
Dosho
pahata swabhava
Pahatasvabhava
Chami tvam dharma sammudha cheta
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निष्टं ब्रूहि तन्मे
श्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
शिष्यास्तेऽहं साधिमां त्वं प्रपन्नम्
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Okay, Madhuri.
Yes, Prabhuji. कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेतः
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Okay, Kirti, you want to try?
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः
पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसमुदच्छेतः
पृच्छामि त्वां सर्वचेतः
यच्चेष्यामि निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
चेतिहं साधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नाम्
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Okay, Naresh.
Yes, Prabhuji. Karpanyadoshopaata swabhava
कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः
Pruchami tvam dharma sammudacheta
पृच्छामि त्वां सर्वसम्मूढचेतः
Yachreyasya nishitam bruhi tanme
यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे
Sisyaste aham sadhi mam tvam prapannam
शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम्
Okay. So Arjuna is saying, now I am confused about my duty. I have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and the soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Now this is a turning point in Arjuna's situation in Bhagavad Gita. Because until now, Arjuna's situation was, he was giving a lot of different reasons and he was trying to escape from fighting. And when Krishna started speaking from 2.2, chapter 2, sloka 2, Krishna chastised him. And now Arjuna is coming into some sort of negotiation. And so verse before this, 2.7, Arjuna said, 2.6, Arjuna said, now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? Before that, he said, I am bewildered and I have decided to give up fighting. And so slowly he's transitioning and coming into some sort of negotiation with Krishna. After Krishna chastised him, he's coming into some sort of negotiation. And in 2.6, Arjuna said, now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? So this is the duality, right? Either this or that. Now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? So this concept of duality, we can speak a whole lot about this. We are born into the material world because of this duality. When we were in spiritual world, we were serving Krishna with one pointed attention. We did not have any other thoughts. Okay, one pointed attention. We were serving Krishna with love and devotion. And then, because of limited free will that the soul has, we developed some hatredness, some enviousness towards Krishna. Every day, seeing everyone serving Krishna, we developed some hatredness, thinking that, oh, why everyone is serving Krishna? Why not me? Why can't I enjoy like God? Why can't I become God? So we developed that enviousness, and then we are born into this material world, and we are born with dualities. So anything that you do, any activity that you want to perform, there is always duality. In fact, in this country, Western countries, for any small thing, there are too many options. At least in India, it's still better. But here, for a small thing, there are too many options. I mean, I remember during my childhood times, if you wanted to buy a pencil, there are only two options: Nataraj pencil or what was the other one? Camlin pencil.
Apsara.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Apsara was also there. Yeah.
Later it.
Yeah. So
Apsara is for again like rich people, I think. Nataraj was like.
Oh, it was a high class pencil?
Yeah.
Okay.
For low class,
A little bit.
Nataraj. Okay, for high class Apsara, for low class Nataraj. So Apsara is the heavenly damsel, right? Heavenly damsel.
anyone who is using Apsara will be their rich. That's how we used to say.
Okay. So those were the nice, good olden days. So the duality was there, but it was not so complex. It was not very complicated. Whereas here, if you want to buy a pencil, there is a mechanical pencil, non-mechanical pencil, and there are different points. One can do a research on what type of pencil to use. It's very complicated. It's very complicated. So like that, we are dealing with dualities. We are bombarded with dualities in every walk of our life. So why are we bombarded with dualities? Why are we bombarded with dualities?
Because we cannot decide which one is good, which is good for us. Because like too many options, you don't know which, like if I take this one, what will happen?
Yeah. Now, first of all, why that situation is there in the first place?
I think people are not content with what they, if the people are given one option, they're not content. They want more options to make feel important for themselves.
Okay.
Point is that, and they want
That's good.
more choice to be made. Instead of saying what to be taken,
Yeah.
they want that decision to be done by themselves. And variation, difference is something that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So, in the very beginning, the duality. Okay, before that, anyone else? Kiran.
I think it, like your mind, or everyone feels that they want to make their choice so that they feel like that ownership of it.
Yeah, they feel.
If you don't have that, you don't feel happy or you don't feel right.
Yeah.
That's why everyone has or want their choice to be there.
Yeah.
So I think that's why that option of you have this, you have this for you, that comes.
Yeah, that's also a good point. Okay. Anyone else? Why there are dualities in the very first place?
There is also the saying, Prabhuji. I mean, if there are too many options, it means that there are no options at all. Like, yeah, it's giving too many options confuses your mind, and you cannot. It leads to indecision and not being able to focus on like what you want, and just getting lost in like, yeah, too many. That's what is happening these days. Like, I mean, a lot of social media and lot of information bombarding, leading to not remembering anything, and not being able to give attention to anything more than 30 seconds or something.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
sorry, the question was,
So the question was, why do we have dualities in the very first place?
mean like why there is too many choices, or dualities in the sense.
Yeah, forget about too many choices, but why there are two choices in the very first place?
Mm.
If you don't like one, you can pick another. Okay, that's good. Simply put, that's what it's all about. It, simply put, that's about it.
If
Don't
there
like
is one thing, there is not having that thing, so it becomes dual anyway. Like, I mean, if there is good, means that there is a choice of not believing in good, so that becomes bad. So like, existence of one comes with its negativity. So it's like what I think. So there'll definitely be duality for anything. So it's I mean, like just like our systems which work on binary, like 0 and 1. So
Yeah.
existing of one thing means will also lead to non-existing of another thing. So
Yeah. Okay. Rahul.
I'm not sure I'll be able to answer your question, but I think that we need something to label, Prabhuji, human beings, like black or white, good, bad, east, atheist,
Okay.
something like we are not able to like be in that gray area. We need something to like stick on. That's what I think.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if I'm answering the question.
Swati, any answer? You went on a sabbatical for a few minutes.
My computer charger, I left it somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Question is,
I
why do we have dualities? In chapter 2, shloka number 6, Arjuna expressed his duality. Now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? In simple words, Arjuna was asking, I don't know which is better, killing them or being killed by them. So it's a duality. So in our life also, in every walk of our life, we have dualities. And we are suffering. Because of that, we are suffering. So the question is, why do we have dualities in the very first place?
think I like Madhuri Mataji's answer, and I want to probably stick to that. That with every day there's night. With every there are always two sides of anything. If we don't have the dark, we are not going to appreciate the light. So there is always going to be uh, if there is God, there is evil. So it has to come together.
Good. You have one very valuable point. We'll come back to that, okay? But you mentioned a very good point. So, okay. Venugopal?
Based on the earlier discussions, what I can think is we were given the freedom to choose which one is the correct one. So I feel that is the purpose. So it's not like giving only one option and then follow the same. So Lord has given enough options for us. So we will utilize our freedom and then choose the correct one.
Yeah. No, why did God give options in the very first place? That's the question.
Is it to appreciate the good?
You have a very valuable point. Okay, I'll come back to that. Okay, what you said is correct. It is to appreciate one over the other. Okay, just hold on to that. I'll tell you.
Test you to choose the right option.
To test you to choose the right option.
Like
Okay.
He will give you good and bad, and it's your call to make what is the right decision.
Okay, you have a free will to decide which one is right. Okay. Naresh?
Also,
Yeah, go ahead, Madhu.
so also, Prabhuji, if we are not given a choice to choose, and if we are forced to do something, would eventually hate it, irrespective of however good it is.
Very good.
Just like even
Yeah.
if you are given like too much money or whatever that gives us happiness, and asked us to, it's like getting trapped in our jobs, or getting trapped in our whatever. So after certain point, we'll lose we'll lose that gratitude towards it, or will not understand the happiness, because we get used to it, unless until we choose with our free will, with our freedom,
Yeah.
and try to yeah. So the reason is that the same thing, Prabhuji, if we are not on the path of spirituality, and if we are forced to do it, people would start hating it. That's maybe what's happening with India, or most people as well,
Yeah. Yeah.
because they were asked to follow without giving the reason or giving the free will, and that
Mhm.
generates a kind of aversion towards it, is what I
Okay.
think.
Okay, very good. Yeah.
Without explaining why.
Yeah. Yeah.
Forced to do it, you don't like.
Yeah. If you're not given options and asked to follow one, it's like dictatorship, right? Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Yeah, Naresh?
But Prabhuji, what if like it's in the beginning we are talking about, right? What if we don't even know what is good and what is bad? We are just let out to experience it. And what if we think the bad is good and the good is bad?
Yeah.
Then it's a whole other thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a very good point. So we'll discuss that. But the right now we are trying to understand why there are dualities in the very first place. Why there are options, or why there are dualities. More than one. Duality means more than one. It's like a binary. Yeah.
Because we think we are in control of the situation.
I think we are in control of the situation.
We have the free will, and also like I'm in control.
Yeah, that's another very valuable point. Okay, so we have three valuable points. I'll connect all these dots. So Ashok said, because we have free will, we can choose between the two. Okay, Naresh.
Krishnaji, maybe
Yeah.
I'll try to connect my answer to the Krishna, because in order to serve Krishna, right? So there should be three elements: lover, love, loved. So to appreciate that transcendental qualities, I think that the duality is born, and it takes different shapes. Let's say love, when in the perverted form in material world, it becomes lust. The forgotten love to Krishna, it becomes lust. So I think I would love to define that way.
Yeah.
Duality.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, so you all shared nice points. So if we connect the dots here, right? So in the beginning, everyone was with Krishna in the spiritual world. So there was only one option: to serve Krishna. Okay, no duality. Everyone's was eternal duty was to serve Krishna. Krishna was supreme. Krishna is supreme, eternal master, and we are all part and parcel. We are servants of him. So we were happily serving Krishna. That was our one duty or one option. It's not an option, but we were doing that. We did not even know that there are options existing, or we did not even think about anything else. But slowly, some souls started misusing their free will, and then they wanted to become God. Then Krishna said, "Okay, fine. You can experiment and try to become God. I'll send you to the material world." Then Krishna created the material world, and Krishna sent those few rebellious souls to the material world. Now, when a jiva is in the material world, they are called marginal potency. Okay, Krishna has three types of potencies or 3 types of energies. Superior energy, inferior energy, and marginal energy or marginal potency. So superior energy is Krishna or anything belonging to Krishna. Inferior energy is the matter. It is also Krishna's energy, but it is temporary. Matter is temporary. So the Jivatma, because he developed the desire to become God, so Krishna gave the option. Okay, you can try to become God. Okay, that is option 1. Or option 2, I would say. That is option 2. Our option number 1 is always serving Krishna. Our option number 1 is always serving Krishna. But because we developed the desire out of our limited free will, because we developed a desire to become God, Krishna gave that as option number 2. And that is how the duality started. That is how the duality started. And because the Jivatma is marginal potency, Jivatma is described as marginal potency. Jivatma can go here or there. He can go to the material energy or he can go to spiritual energy. Yeah. So it's like you imagine a stream of water, and there are 2 sides to it, left side and right side. Left side is spiritual energy, right side is material energy. And you are in the middle. Okay, Tatastha. It is called Tatastha or marginal potency. So Jivatma are called as Tatastha energies. So you have an option to go to the either left side or right side. When you are in the stream of the water, you can either go to the left side or right side. If you go to the left side, it is spiritual energy. You'll always be happy. But the Jivatma, out of the limited free will, because they misuse the free will, they want to go to the right side because they want to become God. So they take shelter of material energy. That's why we come to material world. And ever since we are born into the material world, we are bombarded with so many dualities. It's very perplexing, so many dualities. We're born out of duality. There is a shloka in chapter 7, right? Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani sammoham sargayanti parantapa. Ichcha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata. Dvandva is duality. Ichcha. So what is the duality Krishna talking about in that verse? Ichcha and dvesha. Ichcha is liking. Dvesha is unliking. Ichcha is liking. Dvesha is unliking. So liking Krishna or unliking Krishna. Or liking Krishna and hating Krishna. So we were born out of that delusion or duality. So let me open that shloka actually.
So one question.
Yeah.
So since like the soul has free will, and originally even though the soul was serving Krishna,
yeah,
or we were serving Krishna, just because of the free will, like we came down.
Yeah.
Correct. So now we are trying to go back.
Yeah.
So is it that again there is a chance once we go back we will come back?
No. After we return to spiritual world, we will never come back to material world.
If we were there, so we return to spiritual world in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
Then we should not have come back then.
Yeah. So
I mean, like, is it that only one time we came back here, and once you go back, you won't come?
Yeah, one time we came here, we fell into material world. Now, after going through millions of lifetimes and after going through 8.4 million species of lives, then we learned a lesson saying that life in material world is very miserable. We learned a lesson saying that life in material world is very miserable. And we come to a conclusion that life in material world is like impossible. It's not only miserable, but it is impossible. In the end, we'll come to that conclusion. And then we start inquiring about higher truth, and then learn this Vedic knowledge, go back to spiritual world. Once you return to spiritual world, you will never fall down. Because you learn lesson hard way. You learn a lesson hard way. You'll have that remembrance. That's why you will not come back. Yeah. Krishna says in chapter 8, chapter 8 and 15 also, actually 15. Yad gatva na nivartante taddhama paramam mama. So after attaining my abode, you will never come to this material world again. Yeah. So, okay, let me share this screen here. Yeah, if you see this shloka, 7.27, chapter 7, verse 27, Ichadvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata sarva bhutani samoham sargeyanti parantapa. O sign of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities arisen from desire and hate. Okay? So this is how we were born. And then every day, every walk of life, we are bombarded with too many dualities. We are confused. Just like how Arjuna was confused. Now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? And the three modes of material nature, they are forcing us to face these dualities every day. The mode of passion, goodness, and ignorance, they are forcing us, they are influencing us to go through these dualities. And every time when there are options, right? When there are two options, it is the nature of the mind to pick the path of least resistance. To pick the path of least resistance. That's the nature of mind. If there is a task which is very difficult, the mind does not want to take it. So the mind wants to take up easy things, take up path of least resistance. Or in other words, the mind wants to choose that path that gives instant happiness, that gives happiness instantly or immediately. You try something and then it should give you happiness very quickly. So that's the nature of the mind. There are two things the Vedas describe about two things when it comes to happiness, right? There is preyas and shreyas. Preyas and shreyas. Two types of happiness. Preyas is temporary happiness or temporary benefit. Shreyas is permanent happiness or permanent benefit. But the mind always wants to choose something that gives you instant happiness, which is temporary. And the mind knows that it is temporary, but the mind can't avoid it because the mind takes the path of least resistance. So Arjuna's situation also was like that. He was inclined to choose he was inclined to choose the path of escaping from the battlefield. That's why he gave a lot of reasons. Okay, 1 second. We are just settling down. Hey, Avi, how are you? Your full name, Avyut, or what is your full name? Huh? Abhi? Abhi what? Abhivardhan. Abhivardhan Penta. Okay, good. So you have some friends. You want to play with them upstairs?
Yeah, actually coaching to sit in the sofa.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Shreyas and Preyas. Mind always wants to choose something that gives instant happiness, temporary happiness. The mind knows it is temporary, but still mind wants to choose that.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yeah.
So if there are two choices and you realize like both of them are taking you away from Krishna consciousness,
Yeah.
then which one to choose? Like the current situation also will take you away from the Krishna consciousness.
Mhm.
You have another option which is also taking you. Which one to choose?
There is a saying, right? You pick the best of the worst.
Mhm.
Best of the worst.
Okay.
So best bargain of the two worst situations.
Mhm.
So yeah, whatever is least affecting your Krishna consciousness,
Okay.
you pick it up. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have any other choice. You have two choices. Both are taking you away from Krishna.
Yeah.
But one to a lesser degree, other one maybe forever it might take you away from Krishna.
Mhm. Mhm.
So you choose least damaging one. Yeah. Best of the worst.
Prabhuji, Shreyas and Preyas, you said, right?
Yeah.
Shreyas.
Preyas is temporary happiness or temporary benefit.
Okay.
Shreyas is permanent happiness or permanent benefit.
But both will lead us to be born on earth.
No, what made us born into the material world is prayas.
Okay. Okay.
In spiritual world, we had Shreyas.
Okay.
Yeah, but we wanted prayas.
Mhm.
Because the mind wants a path of least resistance, right? So some
Mhm.
souls, they were resistant. They were, they were resistant, they were resistant and developed a desire not to serve God. Why to serve God? I am God. Everyone should serve me. So, yeah. Because they developed hatredness towards Krishna. Yeah. And other people like us, after reading Bhagavad Gita, after attending Harilas Maharaj classes, after going to temple and doing some service like how Naresh Prabhu, Kiran, they're all doing. Then we get some purification and we believe in God. Whereas other people, even though there is an opportunity to read Bhagavad Gita, they don't read. So where is a chance of getting purification then? So they'll remain atheists for a long time, and then eventually they will lesson very hard way, and then they come to this.
Then why is there a concept of religion?
Concept of religion. Concept of religion is to purify all the souls and help them go back to Krishna. But people have made their own religions. Originally, there was only one religion, Sanatana Dharma, which helps everyone to go back to Krishna. But the people made different religions: Hindu religion, Muslim, Islam religion, Christianity. These are all man-made religions. Yeah. So,
Prabhuji, I've got one weird question.
yeah.
So souls are being human beings are being born. All the souls are being born like every second or every minute, right?
Yeah.
So can we consider those souls still falling down from the Vaikunta, or are they in the cycle of reincarnation, or all the souls fell down at once and we are in a cycle right now? How do we consider that, Prabhuji?
So not all souls fall down.
So there are still some souls present in Vaikunta.
Oh, not some. Majority are in Vaikunta. We are minority here. Just like in a city, let's say Seattle population is what, 10 million? Okay. Huh?
Around.
About 10 million? Okay. So 10 million population. And what's the population of prison houses? There are many prison houses, right? So approximately, let's say the entire population of prison house is 100,000. Maybe 100,000. Yeah. So they are minority. We are majority. So similarly, the material creation is only one fourth of the spiritual creation, 1/4 of the entire creation. Majority are in spiritual world.
So if a new soul is born
Yeah.
here, how do we consider that? Like, did they fall down, or are they in the cycle of the 8.6 million species?
When you say new soul born means like a
I
new
mean,
person born.
yeah, a new person, an animal, or
Yeah, new
tree,
person
yeah,
or animal born. Yeah.
a new being, yeah.
Yeah, it could be their direct. No. So the first life that everyone gets when they fall from spiritual world is Brahma. Is Brahma. So we were all Brahmas once upon a time, long time ago. Congratulations. We all had 4 heads. Yeah,
So
that's
the
true.
calculation is very huge. Then so many Brahmas. Everyone gets to like create a world of their
There are
own.
Brahmas of different capacity. There are Brahmas of different capacity. Some Brahmas, maybe assistant Brahmas, or yeah, there are Brahmas of different capacity, and there are millions of universe, or billions of universes, not just one universe, billions of universes. Yeah. So when you see a newborn baby, right? So it's a continuation of life from past life. In the past life, that jiva could be an animal, a cow, or another human being, and they are continuing their they're continuing their life in the material world. They're not purified yet, they're not qualified yet to go to spiritual world. They're continuing their lifespan in the material world. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Now, yeah. Okay, now let's read the purport. 2.7. By nature's own way, the complete system. This is the purport of 2.7. So Arjuna said, now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. By nature's own way, the complete system of material activities is a source of perplexity for everyone. In every step, there is perplexity. And therefore, it behooves one to approach a bona fide spiritual master who can give one proper guidance for executing the purpose of life. All Vedic literatures advise us to approach a bona fide spiritual master to get free from the perplexities of life, which happen without our desire. They are like a forest fire that somehow blazes without being set by any time, by anyone. Similarly, the world situation is such that perplexities of life automatically appear without our wanting such confusion. No one wants fire, and yet it takes place, and we become perplexed. The Vedic wisdom, therefore, advises that in order to solve the perplexities of life and to understand the science of the solution, one must approach a spiritual master who is in the disciplic succession. A person with a bona fide spiritual master is supposed to know everything. One should not, therefore, remain in material perplexities, but should approach a spiritual master. That is the purport of this verse. Okay. Kirti, you want to read the purport? Continue.
Who is the man in the material perplexity? It is he who does not understand the problems of life. In the Brahad Aranyaka Upanishad 3.8.10, the perplexed man is described as follows. Yoga itat apsaram garagi
Avidvamsa loka praiti sa kripanaha.
He is miserly man who does not solve the problems of life as a human, and who thus pets this world like the cats and dogs without understanding the signs of self-realization. This human form of life is the most valuable asset for the living entity, who can utilize it for solving the problems of life. Therefore, one who does not utilize this opportunity properly is a miser. On the other hand, there is the Brahmana, or who is intelligent enough to utilize his body to solve all the problems of life. Yat itat apsara gadi vidit vasma lokat praiti sa brahmana.
Yeah. Okay. So we can hold on to this. We can continue a little bit later. So here there are three paragraphs in the purport. Okay. Let's try to understand one at a time. So in the first paragraph, so Srila Prabhupada is explaining the importance of approaching a bona fide spiritual master to make right decisions in our life. Okay. So Rahul, you asked, right? So what if we don't know which is good and bad? What if the good we think is bad, and what if the bad we think is good? So the answer to that is this paragraph here, the first paragraph. So here Prabhupada is saying, one must approach a bona fide spiritual master to get guidance. So life should always be guided. Okay, in general, life should always be guided. In every walk of life, we should take guidance from seniors. Now, we all have experienced this from our childhood. We had joint families, right? In the beginning, in the ancient times, we all had joint families, 3-4 families staying together. And then there used to be one elderly person who was making all the decisions for the family, for entire group of families. One elderly person makes the decision, and the rest of the family members, they simply follow him. They don't ask any questions. They don't argue. They simply follow. Whether it is good for them or not good for them, they have faith in that elderly person that whatever is good for them, that only he will suggest. That's why there were less quarrels those days, and people were leading a very happy life. Because that elderly person, he has seen life. He has wisdom. He has gone through many difficulties in life, and he has wisdom, practical experience. So obviously, whatever he suggests will be good for other family members. And that elderly person can be a big brother in the family, or the father itself, or grandfather, or an uncle, so somebody. So we have this culture of guidance, from ancient times. Even if you keep spirituality, God aside, so this culture of getting guidance, it has been there since ancient times. Over a period of time, families have become very nuclear, and now everybody is making their own decisions. So within the family, the household family is created in such a way that the husband should guide the wife. But now what is happening? Wife is making her own decisions. Husband is making his own decisions. So there's no synchronization. And if there are 4 people in the family, there are 2 children, wife and husband, everyone has their own decisions. Everyone has their own opinions. So hardly anyone is following this model of guidance. One elderly person, head of the household. Why do they call the man of the house as head of the household? Because man is generally elder than the lady, elder than wife. So, I mean, especially those days, right? In olden days, the husband was at least 5 to 10 years elder to wife, in some cases more. And that 5 to 10 years is sufficient to go through life and learn some experiences and get some wisdom, practical experiences. And that is enough to guide other people in the family. So now in today's society, that has been lost. That the system of guidance has been lost. That's why everyone is perplexed with so many dualities, and they are suffering. So Prabhupada is explaining in this purport, the first paragraph, the importance of approaching a bona fide spiritual master and seeking guidance. Because we are bombarded with dualities in every walk of life. Life should be guided always. And if the spiritual master is not approachable for all questions in your life, you can have a mentor. You can have a mentor, or a guide within the same community. For example, in the temple community, you can have a guide or mentor who can help you, evaluate your decisions. Another senior person, not a person of the same age or same level of Krishna consciousness. So one who is senior. Senior means either in the age or age in the in the process of Krishna consciousness. So life should be guided. But most of the times, people are not ready to be corrected. Okay, people are not ready to be corrected. So first of all, they don't even think that they are wrong. They think whatever they are thinking, whatever they are doing is correct. They don't accept a good piece of advice. That's a problem. Their glass is always full. How can you fill anyone's glass when it is full? So if you want to listen to an instruction, you should go with either empty glass or half glass vacant. Then you can receive some knowledge. You can receive some good piece of advice, guidance. But if you go stand in front of a person with a full glass, that means you are not ready to accept any good piece of advice. So many people are like this in this world. Self-sustenance. There is something called a self-sustenance. They think they are independent. Women empowerment, right? Women empowerment. They want to become independent. They can become independent when it comes to work. In the office, yeah, they can become independent. They can do things independently. But in general, life should be guided. Life should be guided.
That guided life is easier.
Guided life is easier. Yeah. Yeah, very good. Because they are making a decision for you. You don't have to scratch your head and, you don't have to take too much stress. So life, you're right. Naresh has a good point. Guided life is easier. Yeah. Guided life is easier. So, we may not understand why they are giving that piece of advice at that point. But if we have faith in them, that whatever decision they make is good for me, then our life will be successful. So the purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita is to understand what is Krishna's plan for us. Krishna has a plan for everyone. Krishna has a plan for everyone. Whatever situations happening in our life, whether good or bad, Krishna has a plan for us. Krishna is trying to teach something through that situation. So our duty is to understand what is Krishna's plan, what is Krishna's trying to teach me through this situation, and grow out of it. So there was a story related to this topic, right? Understanding God's plan. So once upon a time, there was a beautiful temple. And in that temple, beautiful deity of Krishna, Shamasundara deity of Krishna. Abhivardhan Penta. Are you listening? Story. I'll ask you a question, okay? So there's a beautiful deity of Krishna. Standing deity of Krishna. So Krishna is always standing. And then the sweeper of the temple, who sweeps the floor every day, okay, like our Kiran Prabhu. So he sweeps the temple floor every Monday. Okay, so imagine Kiran got an idea. Oh, Radha Neelamadav is always standing every day, all day long, 365 days. Let me offer him a seat. Let me help my God relax a little bit. Maybe his legs are hurting, and let me offer him a nice seat and ask him to relax. So he goes to God and tells his proposal. And God likes that idea, and he tells, okay, let's do that. But you have to stand in my position. I'll transform you into a deity. I'll make you look like exactly like me, and you'll appear like a deity, just like my deity, and you'll be standing there for one day. Okay. And then the sweeper also likes that idea, because his goal is to help his God, to relax for one day. His goal is not to become one day God. So that's not his goal. His goal is to help his own God to relax. He's trying to serve his God. He's very genuine. So then Krishna tells the sweeper, okay, let's do this. But whoever comes, whatever happens in front of you, you should not speak. Okay, that's the condition. You should not speak. Now the sweeper agreed. The arrangement is made, and then Krishna sits in the seat, nice simhasana. He's not visible to anyone. And this sweeper, he takes the position of the deity, and he's standing there. Now people started coming to take darshan of Krishna. So the first person who comes is a rich person. He comes there, he prays to the deity, and then he asks, he prays to the deity to give millions of dollars of wealth. And then he takes out his wallet and puts $100 in the hundi. Okay, and then he prays, and then while going, he forgets to take his wallet. He leaves his wallet there and he goes. And then after some time, a poor man comes. The poor man offers prayer to deity, and he closes his eyes, offers prayer to deity. Krishna, please help me. Please help me get out of this poverty. Please help me in my situation. He opens his eyes and there is a wallet. So he takes the wallet and goes. He takes the wallet thinking that, okay, I will use this. I'll use some money to fulfill my needs and some money for Krishna. Maybe this is what Krishna is. Maybe this is how Krishna is helping me. He's answering my prayers, and this is how Krishna is helping me. Where there's no one else, and he's genuinely, thinking that way, and he takes the wallet and goes. And then after some time, a sailor comes. By profession, he's a sailor. So this man comes, and he also offers a prayer. Now, when this sailor is in the temple, that rich person, after realizing that his wallet was lost, he brings a police to the temple to find who has stolen the wallet. And then the only person he sees there is the sailor. And then the rich man asked the police to arrest that sailor. Now the police arrest the sailor, and then they're about to leave, and then this man speaks, saying that this man who is in the form of deity, who is standing there, he starts speaking. He has been watching all of this, right? He could not control. He thinks that, oh, there's a problem happening. Let me fix this problem. Okay. So then he tells the police and the rich person, saying that, no, I have been watching all this. It is not the sailor who stole the wallet. It is the poor man who stole the wallet. That person came to the temple before the sailor came. Then they go and find that poor man and arrest him. And then it's the end of the day. It's the time for Krishna, the original Krishna, to come to the deity position. So Krishna comes and asks the sweeper, so how has been the day? What did you do? And what did you learn? Then the sweeper says, oh, it was very good. Very, very nice. I felt so good. You know what? I fixed a problem. Then Krishna asks, what problem and how did you fix it? Then he tells, he narrates these three incidents. And then Krishna puts his hand on his head and says, oh, I had a different plan for these three people, and then you messed the whole thing. Then Krishna tells what was his plan for these three people. Krishna's plan for the first person, the rich person, was because he had so much of wealth, but he was not charitable. He put only $100 in the hundi, but he was asking for $100 million of wealth. That was his mood. So Krishna wanted to purify him. He wanted to purify his karma by giving his money to the poor person. And Krishna's plan for the second person, poor man, is to help him with some wealth. But he is genuine. When he came to offer his prayers, he put his last coin in the hundi, and he did not have anything else. Even at home, he did not have anything else. But he was ready to put the last coin in the hundi. He was so sincere. So Krishna really wanted to help this poor person to get some of that wealth from the rich person. Simultaneously, Krishna wanted to purify the rich person's karma. Okay. And then Krishna's plan for the sailor. The sailor, after taking darshan, he wanted to board a ship and start his duty. But there was a big storm was about to come, and if the sailor had taken the ship, then he would die. Krishna had a plan to save him. So he wanted sailor to be arrested. So if he is in jail, he will not be on the ship and he will not die. So Krishna had different plans for these three different people. But this person, the sweeper, he messed up the whole thing, and he implemented his own plan. So just like that, we all do the same thing in our life. We don't understand God's plan, and we implement our own plan. So that is when the problem comes. So the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is, or the whole process of this Bhakti Yoga is to understand God's plan and act according to that. There are some shlokas in chapter 6, Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, and also in Ishopanishad about dictation. Okay. Bandhuratmas manastasya enatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve parte taivatma shatruvat. A controlled mind is a best friend. An uncontrolled mind is the worst enemy. So what is controlled mind? What is uncontrolled mind? Controlled mind is that mind which takes dictation from God. Which a controlled mind acts according to God's plan. And uncontrolled mind makes their own plan, implement their own plan. They have too many things, too many options, too many dualities, too many perplexities, and they think they can fix their own problem, just like the sweeper fixed the problem for everyone. And he was feeling happy that, okay, when my God comes and when I report this, he will feel happy. God will feel happy. So he was thinking that way. So a controlled mind is our friend, and uncontrolled mind is our enemy. So the whole purpose is to understand God's plan. Now, Arjuna's situation before understanding or before surrendering to Krishna. So in 2.7, he surrendered to Krishna. Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Now I am surrendered to you. I am a soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me. Please instruct me. But before this, if you go back to chapter 1, I mean, it's been a long time, right? Last year. And yeah, last year. And so many things happened after that, right? So in chapter 1, there are set of shlokas, at least 20 shlokas, where Madhuri turned on her video. That means she remembers something from chapter 1. Okay. So Arjuna's situation was, he was telling, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Radham Stapaya Mechuta Vyavadeta Nirikshekam Yoddukaman Avastita Karmaya Saha Yoddavyam Asmin Rana Samudyame Asmin Karmaya Saha Yoddavyam Asmin Rana Samudyame Dhartarashtrasya Durbuddhe Yuddhe Priyachikirshavah. Okay. So especially in those 3 verses, Arjuna asks Krishna, please take the chariot in the middle of the battlefield. I want to see who and all came to fight. He was very confident. Arjuna was very confident. He was ready to fight. He wanted to see, who and all came to fight. Let me see their, their end kind of mood. But now, when Arjuna placed the chariot right in front of Dronacharya and Bhishma Dev, now he was overwhelmed with compassion. Miserly weakness, kripana, in this shloka, karpanya dosho pahata swabhava. Karpanya dosha. Karpanya is miserly. Dosha is fault. Miserly weakness. Karpanya dosha means miserly weakness. As soon as Arjuna saw his kinsmen, especially his people of worthy of worship, Dronacharya and Bhishma Dev, his heart melted with compassion. How can I kill these people? Karpanya dosha. And then, but still, he gave different reasons not to fight. He gave 4 reasons. So from that situation of Arjuna, we can again understand now the transition of Arjuna from that situation where he was very confident and he said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Radham Stapaya Mechuta, take my chariot in the middle of the armies. I want to see who and all came fight. From that stage to a stage where he put away his Gandiva, Visrujya Sasharam Shapam, Shoka Sambhigna Manasaha. And then now he's saying Karpanya Dosho Pahata Swabhava, Shishyasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. I am a soul surrendered. Please instruct me. So you look at the transition. Let's go over some details here. So what was Arjuna trying to do in chapter 1 and what is his situation now? Okay. Now during our device, our introduction to Bhagavad Gita, we learned 3 methods of acquiring knowledge. Okay. What are the 3 methods of acquiring knowledge? Okay, not Ashok, not anyone in person. Okay, online. Okay, while online people are telling, are refreshing their memory, I want to connect a charger actually. It is almost dying here.
One is from one generation to the other, from a guru to the shishya.
Okay.
One is by listening, or maybe
Okay.
Another one I remember is by inference, Prabhuji.
Inference. Okay. Yeah, very good.
And I think Shravanam, and by the
like the way little children learn from, they build their knowledge based out of.
okay, I think of praying God. Okay. Shravanam, Kirtanam, they are, I think.
I've got notes, Prabhuji. Pratyaksha, Anubhava, and Shabda Prama.
Yeah.
What is that, Rahul?
Pratyaksha, Anubhava, and Shabda.
Pratyaksha, Anumana.
Anubhava and Shabda.
Uh,
I don't know if it's
Anubhava is the fourth one. Anubhava is the fourth one. Okay. So, Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. Right?
Yeah. Anubhava, Prabhuji.
Anubhava is the fourth one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anubhava is the fourth one, which is which has a different role, and it's higher than higher than Shabda. Okay, now it's connected to the charger. Yeah, so the three methods of learning: Pratyaksha, Anumana, and Shabda. Okay, Pratyaksha is you learn by your own perception, direct perception. You see something and you learn. Anumana is learn through inference or speculation. Third one is Shabda. You accept an authority and learn from authority. Now, with regards to this, let's try to understand how Arjuna has transitioned from chapter 1, that shloka, Senayor Ubayor Madhye Radam Sthapayamechuta, to Shishasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. So, in Senayor Ubayor Madhye Radam Sthapayamechuta, as soon as Krishna placed the chariot in the middle of the two armies, so which method Arjuna was using to learn the knowledge?
Shabda. Oh, sorry, no.
Pratyaksha.
Pratyaksha.
Very good. Yeah, Pratyaksha. So he was seeing, all of his cousins, Dronacharya, Bhishmadev, his kinsmen. He was seeing his kinsmen and learning. And then second one, Anumana. And then he gave, Anumana is what? Basic speculation. So he was giving different reasons not to fight. That is Anumana. He was going through Anumana phase. He was quoting Dharma Shastra, Ardha Shastra, and so many, we talked about 4 different reasons. So he was going through the second phase, Anumana. But we learned these 2 methods have limitations. They have flaws. They are not perfect. They're not perfect methods of learning anything. They're not perfect methods of acquiring knowledge. Now Arjuna is coming to the Shabda Praman stage. Okay, in this verse 2.7, Arjuna has transitioned to acquire knowledge through Shabda Praman. So, Shishasteham Shadimam Tvam Prapannam. I am soul surrendered to you. Please instruct me what is good for me. Please instruct me what is good for me. So this is an example, to understand how Shabda, how Pratyaksha and Anumana are full of limitations and flaws, and only Shabda Pramana is the perfect method of learning. So that is the first paragraph. Okay, life should be guided. Then we understand what is the plan for us. In the absence of Krishna, we seek guidance from his representatives, the bona fide spiritual masters. So actually in the later chapters, in chapter 4, Krishna tells the process of acquiring knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. So Krishna tells, approach a bona fide spiritual master, inquire submissively, render some service, and thus you acquire knowledge from him. The process of learning knowledge is 3-step. One is approach a bona fide spiritual master. You have to find out, you have to identify a bona fide spiritual master, and then render some service. You can help. You have to go. Okay. Yeah, sure. So either you can help clean his clothes, or you can get some, food for him. You can offer some food for him. You can massage his feet. Something. You render some seva, and then inquire submissively. If you have any question, you inquire submissively with a receptive mode, not in a challenging or argumentative mode. Inquire submissively. This is a 3-step process to approach a. This is a 3-step process to learn knowledge, to acquire knowledge. And Arjuna is exhibiting all these 3 qualities here. Okay, so he accepted Krishna as his bona fide spiritual master, as his spiritual master, and he's asking, Shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. Prapannam means I'm surrendered to you. I'm surrendered to you. Please instruct me what is best for me. Anything else in first purport, first paragraph purport? Yeah. Okay, that's from the first paragraph. Now, second paragraph. Actually, before the second paragraph, so it is actually said that Arjuna has 5 reasons not to fight. 4 reasons we discussed in first chapter, right? What are the 4 reasons? Let's try to recap again. Sinful reactions, loss of enjoyment, destruction of family dynasty,
material compassion.
Material compassion. Yeah, very good. 4 reasons. Now in second chapter, there's a 5th reason. That was 2.6. We discussed last week, but we did not cover this point. So now do we know which is better, conquering them or being conquered by them? So this 5th reason is basically labeled as indecisiveness. Indecisiveness. He does not know what to do, basically. Indecisiveness. He could not decide one way or the other. That's his 5th reason.
Prabhuji, can you repeat once again?
Yeah. So the 5th reason is basically indecisiveness. Arjuna could not decide one way or the other.
Yeah. The other 4, Prabhuji? Family destruction.
4, yeah. Other 4, family destruction, destruction of family dynasty.
Sinful reaction, loss of enjoyment, material compassion.
Yeah.
And Prabhu said destruction of family dynasty.
Yeah. You got it, Rahul?
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay. Now in the second paragraph. Okay. 2.7, second paragraph. So Prabhupada is talking about kripanas. So the first word in the shloka is Karpanya dosha. So Kripana comes from that Karpanya. Okay. Kripana are miserly persons. They say kanjus, right? So who is miserly? Who is kanjus? A person who has so much of wealth, but he's not willing to spend. He is kanjus or miserly. Lobi in Telugu, lobi. Similarly, the word kripana is being used here because as a human being, we have a great potential to acquire spiritual knowledge and get out of this material world. To get out of this birth, death, old age, and disease cycle. Human beings are given that potential, and that potential is so great that we can get out of this even in this one lifetime itself. So when we have so much of potential, but we don't use it, then we are called a miser. So Prabhupada writes in that paragraph, if we don't use the great potential of humans, then we are simply leading a life of cats and dogs. Because animals do not have this potential. Animals do not have discrimination, do not have facility to inquire absolute truth. They don't have intelligence to discriminate between good and bad. So it's a special prerogative given to human beings. And if we don't use that, then we are kripana or miser. So one is often attached to family, namely to wife, children, and other members on the basis of skin disease. The kripana thinks that he is able to protect his family members from death, and the kripana thinks that his family or society can save from the verge of death. So just like how Arjuna was calculating that how can I kill my own people? Even if I kill them, how can I enjoy the kingdom? So he was attached to family. He was attached to his kinsmen. So now after giving all these reasons, right? The 5 reasons, the 4 reasons in chapter 1 and 5th reason here. So Arjuna had a kind of mental paralysis. So what is paralysis? Paralysis is a state where you're not able to perform functions, perform your day-to-day functions. Okay, with your working senses, you're not able to perform your functions. And mental paralysis is you're not able to think straight. You're not able to make decisions. That is mental paralysis. So has anyone experienced mental paralysis? Not because of brain stroke or something, but was there a situation in anyone's life where you are so perplexed and you could not think straight and you could not make a decision? Naresh said yes.
On it.
Almost
What I
every
say?
day, Prabhuji.
Very often. Okay. So Naresh is saying very often and Madhuri is laughing. What did you say, Madhuri?
The same thing, Prabhuji. On a daily basis, we face this. Like brain is completely fogged, and you cannot. There are so many high pressure situations in like our work, or even in when there's big decision that we have to take, and it would affect our family members and or us in many ways. Then we first.
No, not that kind of situation.
Just for penny.
Yeah?
Then worst situation just for penny.
Worst situation for penny,
Then yeah.
for money. Yeah. No, these are all confusions, not a situation like mental paralysis. Mental paralysis, like your mouth is drying up. Arjuna described in chapter 1, right? Echoka uchoshanam indriyanam avap avapsya bhumau asapatnam ruddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam. So Arjuna said, Krishna, my mouth is drying up. I'm unable to control myself. My mind is reeling. So that kind of situation. I don't think we face that situation on a daily basis. Like our mouth is drying up and mind is reeling. If we get that every day, then we should not be talking here.
Right, that situation to lose close people.
When we?
Situation to lose close people. Same intense situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Taking health decisions for the family.
Swati, 1 second. Yeah. Naresh is saying something. Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that is a job. It's still there. Suddenly, to be saying,
Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was on this week.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was on call this week, Prabhuji, so I had that kind of reaction like all throughout the week because like so many people message at the same time. I'm responsible for all the high severity alerts going on, and anything goes down or something. So that happened. But other than that, like Mataji mentioned, Swati Mataji mentioned, and Naresh Prabhuji mentioned, like if we are taking decisions for like our parents' health or like our family members' health or something like that, or even when coming to big financial decisions like whether to buy this home or not, or because it's huge investments and we are like yeah or any kind of decision in that case, because like this save up for something and we have to spend it all at once, then it kind of brings us into like a brain foggy mode, or like yeah
Yeah.
severe paralysis until because there's yeah it depends on a lot of people getting affected.
Yeah. So Swati, you were saying something?
Yes, making health choices for our family when they are totally dependent on us. That was very tricky for me to manage. And
Oh yeah, that's a good example. Health choices. Yeah, health
yes, and
choices for parents, right? When they are yeah, exactly. You are reminding my experience 3 years ago when my mother was at her tail end of her life. Yeah, I was going through the same situation. Yeah.
and early on in my life, it was when I was making career choices and parents are pulling us in one direction and we have our own choices. That was a hard situation to navigate.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so Arjuna had mental paralysis, and in chapter 1 he said Etchokam choshanam indriyanam avapsya bhumau asapatna ruddham. Even if I win the kingdom as big as this entire earth, what will I do? How can I enjoy? And then he had a mental breakdown, mental paralysis, and then mental breakdown. Then he surrendered to Krishna. Now in chapter 2, surrendered to Krishna. So that's why they say there was a famous quotation by Einstein. Just trying to remember that quote. He said regarding solving a problem, right? A problem cannot be fixed at the same level where it occurred. A problem cannot be solved at the same level where it occurred. Now, Arjuna had a problem and he was trying to solve his own problem by his own pratyaksha, anumana, using those two methods. He was trying to solve the problem at his level. And he failed. And as Einstein mentioned in that quote, right, problem cannot be fixed at the same level where it happened. So you need someone higher to pull you out of that situation. You need someone higher to help you get out of that situation. And that person is Guru, who can guide you and who can help you come out of that situation. So Krishna consciousness, this process of Krishna consciousness, it can raise your situation. For example, when you're standing on the ground and looking at a skyscraper, the skyscraper looks so big. It looks very gigantic, and it looks as if, it appears as if you cannot even reach it, or you cannot, you cannot even touch it. But the same skyscraper, when you are traveling in an aeroplane, when you are at the same level as the skyscraper, or maybe higher, when you are higher than, when you are traveling higher, when you are flying higher than the height of the skyscraper, the same skyscraper, which looked very big and gigantic, now it looks so tiny. It looks so tiny. So what's the difference? You raised up yourself. You raised up yourself above the problem. So this process of Krishna consciousness and this knowledge from Bhagavad Gita can help us raise up higher and higher, so that our problems will look smaller and smaller. So that's the lesson we should learn from this situation Arjuna was going through. So it's already 7:06. We can discuss the third paragraph next week. So any questions before we conclude?
Our biggest problem is going to Vaikuntha, right, Prabhuji? All
Yeah.
these other problems are smaller ones.
Yeah, these are all relative problems. The real problem is to go back to our original position. Yeah. So
Prabhuji, I wanted to ask, like we spoke about Brahma, right? We were all Brahma at some point.
Yeah.
So you know that a scenario between Brahma goes to Krishna, and he sees like other Brahmas too, like one Brahma has 8 heads and other has 16 and 32 and goes on.
Yeah.
So do you know any other stories similar to that, Prabhuji? I'd be interested to like listen to one of those if you have any.
Like how Brahma was confused or perplexed.
Yeah, any stories where there are other like multiple heads, unlimited heads of Brahmas, like other Brahmas too in that story.
I remember another instance where Lord Brahma wants to meet Krishna when Krishna is in Dwarka.
Okay.
Brahma says like to the doorkeeper or someone, like Brahma has come, can you inform Krishna that Brahma has come and he wants to meet Krishna? And Krishna says, which Brahma?
Yeah.
Brahma gets perplexed.
Yeah.
Because, he thinks he is the only one.
Yeah.
And then
No, I think that is when he shows different Brahmas.
there is one when there is the picnic happens.
That is Brahma Vimohana Leela,
Yeah.
where Krishna does not show different Brahmas.
Okay.
But he, Brahma steals because seeing there is a pastime. It's called Brahma Vimohana Leela, which explains how Brahma got confused, how Brahma got bewildered, just like how we are bewildered and we are confused every day, right? Even Brahma, the highest living being in the material world, he also got confused. In the Brahma Vimohana Leela, one day Krishna was sitting at Terkadamba tree and eating lunch with his friends. And now one of his friends, he puts his mouth into Krishna's, his hand into Krishna's mouth, and then the same hand he eats and again puts into Krishna's mouth. Brahma watching all this, he's thinking, is he Supreme Personality of Godhead? He is eating juta from other people. Is he Supreme Personality of Godhead? He got a doubt, and then he wanted to test that, and he steals all the cowherd boys, all of his friends. He steals all of Krishna's friends and cows also. And Krishna realizes that, and then it's almost end of the day, and everyone has to go home. If they don't go home, then the mothers of the cowherd boys and the people who are maintaining the cows, they'll be worried. Then Krishna creates all those cowherd boys and the cows, he expands, basically. He expands himself. Krishna expands himself into all the cows and cowherd boys, and then all of them, they go to their own homes, and for 1 year. So Brahma keeps them in hiding for 1 year. The actual cowherd boys and cows, Brahma keeps them in hiding for 1 year. And during this time, Krishna, who expanded himself into the cowherd boys and cows, all the gopis, they were able to serve Krishna. They were thinking that they were serving their own child, but they are actually serving Krishna. So they got that blessing to serve Krishna in that form. And then Brahma, after hiding all these cowherd boys and cows, he comes and looks at this Ter Kadamba tree. Now everyone is here. And then he is bewildered. Then he realizes his mistake and he asks for forgiveness. And because of that mistake, he was born as Haridas Thakur. Yeah. So the same Brahma who made that mistake was born as Haridas Thakur. Yeah. Yeah.
When was Brahma Samhita
Spoken? Yeah. After this. Yeah. After this Brahma Vimohan Lila. Yeah.
Because that's what I'm listening now.
Yeah. Okay.
The first verse.
Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha. Yeah. So then after that, Krishna, Brahma learns a lesson, and he acknowledges that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he glorifies him with prayers. Yeah. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karani. Yeah. So,
in one of the second chapters itself, this shloka was mentioned in purports, right, Prabhuji?
Yeah, in purports. Yeah. So, yeah, nice. You remember this very well. In 2.2, when Krishna starts speaking for the first time in Bhagavad Gita, so Prabhupada, he introduces our hero.
Yeah.
With a great, narration.
Yeah.
So he establishes Krishna's position as Bhagavan, and he quotes those 3 references. The reference from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and this Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita, where Brahma also said, Krishna is Bhagavan. Ishvara Parama Krishna. Krishna is that Parameshwara.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. You have good memory.
Yeah, I mean, this particular one, because this was discussed in our, I think, Discover Yourself also class, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we discussed many times. Yeah. We discussed many times, but I think you pointed it correctly that in second chapter, this was referenced. Yeah.
But it's like they sing every day in the temple.
Yeah.
Like I was like listening to it. They sing in a very nice rhythm.
Yeah.
And after the second chapter, second purport, when I read, it was like, okay, I need to
Recite again.
look, yeah,
Yeah.
listen to the entire Brahma Samhita and positive try to memorize.
Yeah. So I'll send out that link with a nice tune so that everyone can, listen to it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, basically this shloka 2.7 is a very important, it's an important milestone in Arjuna's transition. And there are a lot of lessons to learn from that. So we discussed many points. We can recap next week what and all we discussed, if at all we remember. Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Anyone?
Prabhu, I have one question.
Yeah.
So in first paragraph, you were saying God has plan for everyone, right?
Yeah.
Then what should we pray? So even if we pray something, it will override the plan.
God has plan for everyone, but he gives free will to everyone and he does not interfere. He does not interfere in our activities. So it's a famous question that everyone asks, right? Is everything predestined or do we have free will? It's a very popular question. There are so much of discussion, so much of debate. If you search this question online, right, you'll see Quora.com, so many things, so many people giving their own opinions. But simply to say, the difference between free will and destiny is, okay, before I say something, let's hear from everyone. Ashok, what do you think? What is free will? What is destiny?
Destiny, I think it's predetermined. Free will is the path or the road what we take to the final destination.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the description of this. But when do we say, or first of all, is everything predestined or do we have free will?
We have free will, Prabhuji,
Yeah.
but that is limited, very limited.
Okay.
Destiny, I don't know what the destiny is. This point, I don't, I'm in a right path, but I don't know what it is.
Okay. Naresh?
Yeah, we have a limited free will.
Yeah.
And plus the free will is only at the desired level.
Yeah.
And even the whole body to work is Krishna's cooperation.
Yeah.
Because Maharaj described all our body is just a replica of
Krishna's image.
Virat, and every part of the body is controlled by demigod.
Yeah.
Every part of the soul.
Yeah.
So whole body is
controlled.
Independence.
Yeah.
Free will.
Yeah.
At the desired level, we have free will.
Yeah.
And then that will accumulate karma.
Yeah.
And depend on Krishna what he wants to grant, what he doesn't want to grant.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good. So, anyone else? Rahul? Or you are the one you asked? Oh no, Venugopal asked the question, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think there is no right or wrong answer for this. Yeah, I kind of agree with both of them, Naresh Prabhu and Ashok Prabhu. I don't know, Roshi.
Okay. Madhuri, you have anything to say?
Actually, I had the same question, Prabhuji. Like when Gopal Prabhuji was asking, I had the same one. But along that lines, like our sense of purpose would actually lead up to our destiny. So, like, so I mean, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if we are having certain kind of thoughts, or if we have we all have certain natural born talents. So, our thinking, our thoughts, our act, are eventually I mean, leading to actions would lead up to the destiny, even though it looks like a free will. So our thoughts are more aligned towards our destiny, and that would lead us to fulfilling our destiny and become more happy or satisfied or content with our like what I mean. It would so the free will and destiny are in a way connected. Like our free will always chooses actions or thoughts that would lead up to our destiny. Is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Swati, you have anything to say?
Yeah, I was thinking on similar lines as Mataji said that we, I think, destiny is uh, uh, reigns over free will,
Hmm.
and we are destined a certain way, and our free will, whatever we choose, we finally land up in the same um, destiny,
Hmm.
and everything that we are thinking is geared towards that destiny. So whatever free choices that we take are just like stepping stones, but we will lead up to the same destiny.
Hmm. Okay. So in simple words, the difference between free will and destiny can be explained like this with an example. Okay. Let's say somebody wants to commit suicide. They have the free will. They have the free will to do that. Now they go to the top of a 20-story building, and then they jump from there. So that is their free will. Now, what happens after that? That is destiny. A person jumping from 20th top of the 20th floor of a building can survive if that is his destiny. Whereas a person jumping from even first floor can die if that is his destiny. So whatever actions you want to do, you have limited free will to perform those actions. And after you perform an action, after you make a decision and after you perform an action, what happens after that? The result, what the consequences, that is destiny. And that is controlled by various factors. Even though Krishna has a plan for everyone, he has given limited free will. Okay. And Krishna will change that plan according to your actions. If your actions are more in line with going back to Krishna, then Krishna will create a favorable situation to do that. If it is otherwise, then Krishna will pull back from that. Krishna will pull back your plan. So so even though Krishna has a plan for everyone, it is not like everything is predestined and we don't have any free will to do things. We have free will. It's a limited free will. But what happens in the end, it is decided by Krishna. So recently we heard that incident, right? In Nepal, there was a flight crash, 68 people or something, and a couple of people survived. Yeah. Couple of people surviving from a plane crash is never heard of. And we also saw that picture a long time ago, right? There is a lady driving a car, and then the car was smashed like a popard. The car was smashed like a popard, and she simply walked out of that situation asking for help. She simply walked out with few injuries, small injuries.
Recently, Tesla fell off the cliff.
Yeah. So all these situations, Krishna, there is a saying, right? Rake Krishna mare Krishna rake ke. If Krishna wants somebody to die, nobody can save them. And if Krishna wants to protect somebody, nobody can kill them. So Krishna has a plan, but he does not interfere in your day-to-day actions. You have free will to do those. You have free will to think, at the mind level, you have free will to think and make decisions and act according to that. But Krishna knows what decision you are going to make. He knows past, present, and future. So there is a shloka in chapter 7, right? It comes right after that Icha Dvesha Samuttena. I have the shloka open here, right? 7.27.
So, Prabhuji, our life is predestined, but we have free will to change whatever our destiny will be.
Uh,
Our life is predestined,
yeah.
but we have free will, a limited free will,
Mhm.
to change whatever our destiny is going to be.
Yeah, this
Can
one.
we understand? Can we understand it that way?
Yeah,
My
no.
take on this, Prabhuji, is that it's like source, point, and destination. And
Mhm.
like Google Maps, like there's a short way, there's a long way, there's different ways. So our decisions would finally lead to the destination, but our free will would show us which way we are taking, like whether we are taking the long way, hard way, or the shortest way by realizing early, being conscious of our decisions and stuff, or like maybe a different a path. The path varies, maybe basing on our decisions or free will, but our destiny we would always end up there, whichever way.
So, no, I'm confused. I did not pay attention. I was browsing for this verse actually.
Yeah, like I was saying, the source and destination would remain same, but like Google Maps, like I said, would have different paths to lead up to destination, right, Prabhuji? So
Yeah.
our decision would tell which our free will would tell which path we are taking, either less taken road, or a difficult and hard way, or maybe the shortest and easy way, and be conscious of our decisions and take the easy path, or
Okay. Yeah. So like in this shloka here, right? 7.26, Krishna says, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. So Krishna knows past, present, and future. So he knows what happened in the past and what decisions you are making now and what decisions you are going to make in future. And in future means it can be next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year. He knows everything. He knows everything, but he does not interfere. He's simply watching. And based on your actions, he can change his plan. Yeah. So, yeah. So, does that answer, Venugopal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, even though Krishna has a plan, Krishna is not asking us to become lethargic, be lazy, be morose, and just sit idle. So, the whole teaching of Bhagavad Gita is to encourage Arjuna to get up and fight. Uttishta parantapa. Get up and fight. And Krishna had a plan, right, for Arjuna. Krishna knows what happens. In fact, 11th chapter, Krishna showed what happens to all these Kauravas. He said, everyone on the battlefield except you 5 Pandavas will be killed. And he shows his universal form on the Kalarupa form, where Arjuna could see everyone entering his mouth, just like fireflies entering into the fire and dying. All the Kauravas enter into the mouth of Krishna and dying. Krishna shows that. That means Krishna has this plan. He says, I have already killed these people. Now you just become my instrument, get up and fight. So he does not interfere. Yeah. Just like a child, right? So let's say you have a 10-year-old child. Now, after raising the child for 10 years, the parents, based on the inclinations and the personality of the child, the skill set, the talent of the child, they can figure out what will be the future of the child. But they don't interfere in the child activity as he grows up. So if a person is very brilliant, the child is very brilliant materially, then they can make some guesses saying that, okay, my child may go to Stanford or Cambridge, Harvard, and he will be an accomplished, person. He will go to Facebook and work with Swati. So stuff like that, we can, the parents can have some idea about the future of the child, but they don't interfere. They don't interfere with child's activities or decisions, which college to go and which path to take. They don't interfere. But
until 12 you can interfere. After 12 they won't.
Yeah, you have no hope. You have no hope after 12. Yeah. So like that, yeah, Krishna does not interfere, but he knows what's going to happen. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
Just one more question, like an extension to Venugopal Prabhuji's question, Prabhuji. So these days I'm like experiencing, or even from the beginning, though I have come into IT and working as a IT professional, it feels like this is not my purpose, or like I'm not in the right field, or I'm not using my potential up to I mean, I'm not working up to my potential. So it feels like I'm living half life, Prabhuji, like not I mean, I'm not as content as I can.
Come to our Goshala and experience the bliss.
Yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, I know this is the process of, I mean, I'm in the process of finding, but it feels like I'm suffering with these thoughts, and I know this is the process, and this would lead up to my destiny, and yeah, it would give me my sense of purpose. But yeah, is there a way I can make it any easier, even for Krishna to like show me the right path, or like how do I fight these thoughts? Like I'm feeling very placed at a very in a wrong place, or like not, yeah, in a wrong country, in a wrong situation and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
And not
congratulations.
that.
Congratulations. You are acknowledging the situation. 99% of the people, they don't acknowledge the problem. So you should congratulate yourself that at least you are acknowledging the problem. That you're feeling like you don't belong here, and you're not happy. You are leading a half life. Yeah. So what I can say is, since you are showing great interest in spirituality and learning Bhagavad Gita and all, now put that into action. Put that into action. You can increase your frequency to the temple. You can participate in the temple's festivals, where you will make friends with hundreds of other devotees, and then you feel connected. Like-minded people, right? Like-minded people, you feel connected, and then you won't feel leading half life. Because whatever you are learning so far, right? Temple is the place to practice that. Temple is the place to experience bliss. So this morning I had another class, right, in Bothal. The DYS, we just finished DYS and started introduction to Bhagavad Gita. In fact, today 40 people came. So I asked them, why do we go to temple? Why do we worship God? And so different people said different answers. Some people said, we become we become peaceful when we go to temple. Or someone said we can remain ourselves. Nobody questions us. Nobody challenges us. Then I said, you can go to park also. Nobody questions you anything. Nobody asks you anything. You can be all by yourself. But you don't feel the same when you go to park the way you feel at temple. Then somebody said, I become peaceful when I go to temple. Then I asked him, why do you become peaceful? Why do you think you become peaceful when you go to temple? So then they could not answer that. Then I gave them an example of fish tank. A fish in the water of the fish tank is happy. Now, the moment you take out the fish from the water tank, then it feels restless, and then jumping up and down here and there, struggling for existence. The fish own existence is a question at that point. So, and after a few seconds, if you put the fish back into the tank again, it's peaceful. Because when you come to temple, you feel the connection with God. That's why you feel peaceful. Otherwise, you feel out of place. You feel out of place, and you feel you're leading a half life. So I think that's what you can do immediately. At least once a week you can definitely come. Bethel is not too far. At least once a week you can come and participate in some activities. If you're good at making garlands, you can make, or if you and your husband want to serve in the kitchen together, you can serve prasadam to all the visitors. You can simply sit in the bhajan kirtans, and Harilas Maharaj class happens. You can sit in the class. During Aarti, people dance. You can dance. It's unlimited. The devotional activities are unlimited. So when you engage in those activities, then you don't feel disconnected. See, all of us who are living near the temple, Naresh, who recently bought a home near the temple. Why did he buy near the temple? If he had gone little far away, he could have gotten for less price. But he paid 1.2 something and bought near the temple. It was long time ago. No, the same 1.2 now maybe 2.2 or something. So even we, we are near the temple and we don't want to go far from the temple.
At the time, bottle, everybody was blind to bottle.
Yeah. So, and if possible, Madhuri, you come near the temple. You can stay near the temple.
Actually, I found this class and everything after we bought home here, Prabhuji. Otherwise, would have tried that.
Here. I'll help you.
Yeah.
Bellevue Temple opened, Prabhuji?
Probably May or June.
Okay.
In Seattle area? No.
There is. I heard from my yesterday we went to some party and they said that Kannada related Krishna temple. Kannada based Krishna temple was opening at Redmond or somewhere.
Already opened. It's in a house. It's in a small house.
Oh, okay.
Last year, Prabhuji, they got the idol, and whoever invites to their home, to take Krishna idol to their home, and do some puja, and the idol will be there. It's like Krishna will be there, at their home for a day. Next day, the pujari will come and do the puja again, and he will take back.
Yeah, they do that cradle function, right?
Yeah, something like
some
that.
Unjal Seva or
it's like
something. Totti, Krishna Tottil Seva.
It's the Udupi style.
Yeah.
They did that, like many of my friends, they posted videos on Facebook.
Yeah, once they performed in the temple also. They brought Udupi Krishna deity and some Pithatipati came. They performed that festival, that puja in the temple. So I know that person also. His name is Ravi and the wife is Veena. So they opened it. It's a small house, Redmond. It's a small house. Yeah. So during Gita Jayanti time, they invited me to recite Bhagavad Gita in their temple.
I think these are the people I met, Prabhuji, yesterday. Yeah, they came to the. Yeah, I know when you mentioned names, then I recognize like their names are Ravi and Veena as well. So,
Yeah, Ravi and Veena. Yeah.
That's good to know. Yeah, and Prabhuji, please do send that Hari Vilas Maharaj's like a class when it happens, so that I can also attend. And also, I'm interested in garland puja, seva, or serving food seva as well. Yeah, we both can come and help you people out. Yeah,
sure, definitely. Yeah. So that will bring some change in your thoughts.
Yeah.
So at least once a week you can come.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
So we discussed, right, during the summary of the 18 chapters. Chapter 3, karma, action. Chapter 4, knowledge. And chapter 5 is a combination of knowledge and action. So if there is only knowledge, then it will become like a dry philosophy. It will appear like a dry philosophy. And if there's only action and no knowledge, then it will feel monotonous, mechanical, it will not last longer. So you need to combine both action and knowledge. Then you can feel the bliss. Yeah. So the bottle class, the morning, Sunday morning, 11 to 1, that class happens. So those people, few of them, like 4 or 5 of them, every Tuesday, they come to temple from Bothal, they come to Samamish, and in the kitchen, they all serve. They cut vegetables, they serve prasad. The kids, 4 kids, they all together, they serve prasadam. And then the men wash the pots. So it's like 3-4 families, they're all together in the kitchen. Every Tuesday, they have been coming. So something like that, you can consider doing. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So best thing is, what you can do is, Sunday evening, you can come here in person to this class and then go to the temple. And then you can sit in the Kirtans, Harilas Maharaj class, and then any service that you can do. Or you can come even a little before the class also, like 3 to 5, you can perform some service in the temple, come to the class, and again go back to the temple, participate in the Kirtan, Bhajan, Maharaj class, and then you eat dinner in the temple and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 5-6 hours, you can keep Sunday evening.
Yeah.
You'll see the difference.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yes.
Yeah. Because what kept me in this process for a long time is when we were living in Bellevue and we 2009-10 time frame, what kept me in this process and what brought me near the temple is the Sunday feast program. The Kirtan, Bhajans, and the Maharaj class, Aarti, and then Prasadam, that whole Sunday feast program that happens for 4 or 5 hours. It's like a festival every day. Every week, it's like a festival. So that really kept me in this process.
Yeah, that's good to know, Prabhuji. Yeah, I can participate in that.
Well, it's a wholesome experience.
Yes.
You connect with devotees, you hear kirtans, you hear a class, you dance, you take darshan of God. That's another reason why you are feeling out of place and you're leading like half life, because you're not seeing God.
Yeah.
You're not taking darshan. Yeah. So I'll tell you my situation. If I am in Seattle, every day I take darshan. And one day, if some situation happens, so every day I go at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and take darshan. And again, in the evening also, I go again. So if for some reason I'm not able to go at 12 o'clock, and until the time in the evening when I'm able to go to the temple and take darshan, my mind is restless. So maybe that's another reason, why you're feeling like a half life or dissatisfied,
Yeah.
not taking darshan.
Yeah, I'm also lacking that similar mind connection, Prabhuji. I mean, like I'm looking for like a higher level of connection and like similar-minded people connection as well. So along with the darshan of God as well. So everything has become so virtual that it's like you are connected, but yet still not connected.
Yeah.
And you don't feel that presence of people, right? And anymore.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
Yeah.
Too convenient. It's convenient, but not as fulfilling as it should be. So yeah. So that
for my morning class in Bothell, one family, they come from all the way from Lake Stevens. It's like 45 minutes commute from Lake Stevens to Bothell.
Yeah, my friends stay there.
They started coming from last 3 weeks. And first week they came. Second week, their son had a test, some test. They had to remain at home and take the test. And while that son was taking the test, the wife and husband were trying to attend online. And they figured out it's not working out very well. Then today they came in person again. And they told me only one thing. If there is an inevitable situation where we cannot come, we will attend online. But we decided we will definitely come in person every week. 45 minutes drive, but we will come, just like Ashok. He comes from Redmond every week in person. He comes and takes darshan and then comes to the class. Yeah. So I think, we have to get that experience. So during DYS, we said the A, B, C, D. A for association, B for books, C for chanting, D for diet. Diet is prasadam. And then there is E also. E for experience. We should get this wholesome experience. Venugopal also, after the class, he comes to the temple with family.
Oh,
Yeah,
You're not coming today?
Yeah. My family is ready. I have to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the key. Increasing your frequency to the temple is the key.
Yeah, definitely, Prabhuji. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. We'll continue next week. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.